growing up, the Nintendo Game Boy was my most favorite and cherished console, and I had so many games for it. And here, finding myself later in life, there's a lot of times that I really want to go back and play like the classics. I want to play Super Mario Land 2. I want to play my original Game Boy Battleship game. I want to play Link's Awakening. Like, I've got some of those old cartridges. But playing on this thing, especially when your eyes are almost 40 like mine, is very, very terrible. This old dot matrix display just doesn't quite hold up like it used to, despite the nostalgia. So it's very difficult to play on, but enter stage right, there is a great solution. The Analogue Pocket. So this guy right here, I pre-ordered it like a year ago. It showed up a couple months ago. They're a little slow in getting these things out, but you can pre-order it through their website. It's made by, Analogue. They're the people that make it. And I've really enjoyed it. It's got a built-in internal battery, no more burning through the AA batteries. Like, if you had one of these growing up, you knew these didn't last very long, and you hoped that you had, like, the travel charger or something like that, so you could play it for a long time. This thing used a lot of batteries. Well, the other thing was, screen was terrible, the sound wasn't that great. It was just a portable gaming system that had some really, really, really good games that we all loved and grew up with. Well, now with this, not only can you use the actual cartridges on the back, yes, you can. You can put an actual Game Boy cartridge, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. It supports all three of them. And you can even buy an adapter to play Neo Geo, or Pocket Neo Geo, or the other one is Atari Lynx, which I always wanted one of those too. However, in the modern world, we have these things where you can actually like get ROMs. Now, I'm not going to talk to you about how to get ROMs because you're supposed to own the cartridge already if you're going to get one of these things. And yeah, I have a lot of them that I bought and I have the cartridges for. But what you do with this is you actually put the ROMs on an SD card. So the SD card goes in here, right in the side, nice, easy, and discreet. And this is basically like the ultimate handheld gaming platform because it has ROM support for Super Nintendo, I believe Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, original Nintendo, if I didn't say that. So I've got a lot of games on here, and I've like basically owned all these games that I had at some point in time. This right here, Micro Machines, was one of my favorite games growing up. I've held on to this one. I've still got Super Mario Land 2, which is a cool one, and it's been fun. Like, I went back and I rebeat Mario. I rebeat Link's Awakening, which is my favorite Zelda game of all time. Has good sound. Battery life is like 6 to 10 hours. Full color LCD display. It's like 1600 by 1400 resolution. It's over 600 pixels per inch. The screen on this thing is actually really nice. And what's also cool is it has like the built-in, it's got a built-in app in here. It's like you can make your own games with it, which is kind of neat too. I haven't fooled around with that. That's a little bit above probably my time level, commitment, and expertise, but you're supposed to be able to do that. So very easy to go, and you can play some, you can get ROMs for it. And like I said, not going to get into that, but you can get ROMs for it, and it plays them really, really well. And it's like basically bringing all your childhood back if you're like a 30-year-old, 40-year-old person like I am, and you grew up playing Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Game Boy Color. Like, I had all the Game Boys. I had Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Micro. I had all these stinking Game Boys because I always loved the games for so long. There's so many different franchises, and honestly, half the time when I'm playing video games nowadays, I had the original Monopoly game. Like, we bought that whenever I was a kid for the Nintendo. Totally loved that game. Got into so many fights with my brother over it. I think one time I even got hit with the collapsible chair because I had Boardwalk and I had it loaded out with a hotel and my brother landed on it. It didn't end well for me other than the fact that I beat him. But anyway, so I've really been enjoying this. It's great for traveling. It's even got the L and R buttons up here. So it's not just the A and the B. This isn't just like your father's Game Boy, right? It's not just the A, B, select, start button. You have A, B, select, start. You have what's presumably the X and Y that you would traditionally see. The L and the R on the back. Built-in battery, stereo sound. You can even connect it to other ones and play with other folks. If you want to go that route, you can connect it to up to 4. If you happen to be in the same place as somebody that has one of these and, of course, have the cable. But even has a headphone jack, charges with USB-C, so it's nice, easy, and convenient to charge. And I really enjoy this thing. Like, when I'm laying in bed, I play it. Whenever I travel and go on planes, I play it. It's just something nice about being at 35,000 feet and I'm playing Batman Return of the Joker or Monopoly or Paperboy or even like some of the newer stuff. Like, you can even play Mario Kart for the Game Boy Advance. So there's a lot of different titles on here. Well, not on here, but that you can get for it. And of course, the world is your oyster. Like, you can get all the old games. If you want to go to eBay, if you want to go to Amazon, if you want to relive the past of all your Game Boy greatness, if you want to play Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold, like all those different games, if you grew up or you enjoy this stuff, or you're just like a retro gamer, nostalgic collector, and you've got some of these cartridges, you want to go pawn shop hopping, you want to go try and pick some of them up and play them, it plays them beautifully, and they look so much better on this screen as opposed to what they used to look like on the old Game Boy, which basically, like, if you play for any amount of time, will give you eye strain, cost you $30 worth of batteries in today's prices, and it just looks so much better on here. So, yeah, I've been wanting to make this video for a long time because I just enjoy this thing. And this is not like a sales video. I don't get any affiliate links or commissions or nothing. I bought this with my own money. I waited a year for the sucker to show up because it took them forever to get it manufactured. And I haven't put it down since. I play this thing more than I play on my Nintendo Switch. I play it more than I play on my computer. And it always sits next to my bedside. And it's like, all right, well, I'll just play another game of Monopoly, or I'll play some Super Metroid or whatever. And it's been a lot of fun. And the form factor is great. It's nice, it's portable, and it looks very, very similar. Like, they did a great job casting this, making it look and feel like the old Game Boy experience, but more modernized, and has all the extra bells and whistles that you could want in a gaming system. So anyway, just a fun, short little video. I wanted to talk about it because I love this thing. I mean, what channel would it be if, my channel is called Tech Odyssey. I mean, it's not just Phone Odyssey, right? So it's also fun to see some of these things from time to time. So I thought I'd share this with you folks. There's a link in the description if you want to go check out the fine people that make this over at Analogue and see what they have to offer. It even has like a dock. It has like a protective case. You can even connect it with like a MIDI and use it with, in some way, some conjunction with like keyboard for MIDI instruments and stuff. I don't really know anything about that. That's outside my area of expertise, but it's got the game creator on here, which is pretty neat. You can play the emulators. You can, well, it doesn't come with the emulators, just so you know. You have to download the emulators and set them up on the SD card and then get the ROMs, and that's a whole nother process. But it's like the ultimate retro ROM gaming console, and it's actually got good battery life too. Like I said, about 6 to 10 hours, and you'll find that you burn through that a lot faster than you would think because I guarantee if you get one of these and you're interested in playing it, you're going to burn through some hours. I mean, if you're playing Wario Land, if you're playing Super Mario Land 2, if you're playing Street Fighter 2 Super from the Game Boy Advance, I mean, whatever you're playing on here, it's something that's going to keep you probably engrossed in it for a long time. It's been great for me. My kids love it. They're trying to steal it from me all the time just because they want to play Tetris, which, of course, Tetris is always a good classic game, and also inspired, of course, the new Tetris movie on Apple Plus. So it's something that they've been really enjoying here lately, and I have to fight to get it back from them sometimes. But it's a great little thing, and I just wanted to share it with you guys, tell you my experience with it, and let you know that, hey, I think this thing's cool. I just wish it wasn't like $219. It's not the cheapest thing in the world. So if you want it, you got to be committed, but I think you'll get your money's worth. So that's all I've got in this video. If you have any questions or comments about the Analogue Pocket, if you want to relive some of your childhood or talk about your experiences with the old Game Boy, love to talk about that. Always fun to go down memory lane. I'm like the biggest Game Boy dude of all time, so it'll be great to have some conversation. But if you enjoyed this, if you want to see more videos like this, please sound off in the comments as well. Let me know if you liked it. If you enjoyed it, hit the like, subscribe button, and all that jazz. And as always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.